My name is Charlie McGrath. I'm the founder of WideAwakeNews.com and a host on the Rinse Radio Network. And for the people of this country that fall into the category of 50 plus million of you that live below the poverty line, for the people that are waiting to find a job still that even pays slightly what it did compared to their 2008 forward job that they have lost, for the people who have to rely on the government to put food on your table, for the folks who feel like they've been disenfranchised in the recovery, the so-called paper recovery, employment recovery that we've seen since 2008. I am sorry for you because the days of kowtowing to the populace, the days of pretending that the government cares about we the people and is going to keep papering over this failing economy, this failing recovery, those days are very much numbered. You need to take the pulse of establishment media and of Washington, D.C. politicians and understand what they're telling you. You know, they're saying that we're recovering. They're saying that Dow Jones 16,000, Dow Jones 20,000 equals success on Main Street. In the meantime, the war on poverty just reached a new 50-year low. The war on unemployment, the war on fixing an economic crisis brought to you by a bunch of bankers that started in 2008 to present, that has been an abject failure on every front when it matters to Main Street, that war is being sold as a success. So you better understand what that means. The days of easy, cheap bailout money, the days of easy, cheap papering over the depression money in the form of social safety nets, you better be rest assured of one thing. You are on borrowed time. You are on borrowed time for the kind, caring government that is lulling a populace into servitude with these handouts because they're going to stop doing it. And when they do, they're going to turn the blame directly on you. Better watch out, their midterm election neocons. Better watch out, their midterm election Republicans who think that you're going to change things in this country for the positive by going in there and getting rid of these crazy Democratic policy and crazy Democratic handouts. You better be rest assured of this. If you line up with that camp, red team, and you think that there's going to be some fiscal responsibility, forget about it. There's going to be pandemonium and anarchy when the red team gets in there and decides to turn the barrel of the gun of blame onto the people of this country, because that's exactly what's coming. We blamed it on Bush for 8 years. Then we got Obama to rescue us. Well, what did Obama give us? 50-year high in the number of people that fall below the poverty line. So we're going to get the Republicans back in there now to run the show. And what are they going to give us? They're going to give us nothing but a bunch of hype and a bunch of more fodder for one another for us to fight about. That's what's coming our way. And what does this all lead to? Well, if you ask Lars Sear Christensen, CEO of Saxo Bank, he'll tell you, this too big to fail banker will tell you what it leads to. A total dismantling of free market principles, a free market under attack around this planet will lead to an overt totalitarian society. That is the path we have been set on. A path we've been set on that Ayn Rand had talked about in Atlas Shrugged, a path that leads to government having more solution, that leads to more failure, that leads to more crisis, that leads to more solution. A self-feeding beast that turns a once representative government into a totalitarian juggernaut. This is what we're facing in this country. The IMF came out today and said the planet is facing a 1930 style default. You know what? That default was inevitable, but if it had happened in 2008, if we the people would have stood up and said, nope, the bankers who brought us here are going to be the one that feel that failure first and foremost, we would be in a situation just like we see in Iceland, where they had a few rough years and they're on the path to true recovery, not pretend recovery because the Federal Reserve is pumping a bunch of money into the banks' coffers, the same banks that brought us here in the first place. No, we get this one crisis after another leading to more totalitarian-like legislation on every front, financial, political, geopolitical. Have you looked at the latest news about the build out of the security industrial complex in this country, or maybe the residential sheriff's department getting MRAPs in a neighborhood near you soon? This is all by design. We are heading towards a total police state in which the crime of standing up for yourself will be met with the heavy boot of tyrannical government. Please read these stories that are attached, pass this video along. It isn't all hunky-dory. We're not heading down the path to rainbows and lollipops because the Dow Jones says 16,000. We need to use these indices as what they are, a true measure, a adverse measure of the economy, a reverse of what is truly going on Main Street. The higher the Dow goes, the more the bank stocks rise, the more the suffering on Main Street continues to expand. Stories are attached. Please spread this video and spread these stories. all I got.